Oh, Lord, yes. We're going to Six Flags tomorrow.
Oh, you?
Maybe, I don't know why.
At your age, I'm sure you're really looking forward to that. I know I wouldn't be.
Hey, I hadn't been there in a long time, so what the heck, you know.
I'd rent me one of those scooters is what I'd do.
There you go.
If
That'd
they
work.
have them, I surely the guy they do.
I imagine you can't get through there without stepping on one.
Yeah.
That's the way it is at Canton up there when
Yeah.
you go up there, you know. So.
Yeah, I could make about the first mile. I'd be okay. And then
Yeah.
after that, I'd be.
I don't know. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I hadn't been there in years, and it'd be something to get out of the house
Yeah.
for, you know. So.
Yeah. My kids told me one time, not too long ago, that they were in their 30s before they realized that me getting to go to Six Flags on my birthday was not my present. You know, that's what we did every year.
Is that right? Let's go to the Six Flags.
It's my birthday present.
Dad's birthday.
Six Flags, yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of birthdays like that before.
And we'd get there before they opened, and we closed them down every time.
Oh, really?
And before we got out of the parking lot, everybody was snoring, except me.
Yeah, you had to drive
Yeah,
home.
and I had to drive all the way home.
Oh, well, we got some motel there, so we just
No.
walk in and walk out, you know. Or they'll wheel us in, one or the other. But anyway, you had a good week last week.
Well, yeah, I did. It could have been better, but if I could have gotten I had two large fish on
Uh-huh.
that would have made, either one of them would have made the difference. But the first one found a stump to get wrapped around. And the time I got out there to him, he got off. Actually broke 20 pound leader, which was, you know, of course, sawing back and forth, it's easy to do. But,
Yeah.
And the second one pulled it up out of the bottom of a little creek, which wasn't very deep.
Uh-huh.
And he made a run with the boat, and I got a good look at him as he went off, and the hook came out. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
So you were in the middle 1/3 this week?
Well, actually, last week was an LFA.
Oh, that's right. You're in the east 1/3 this week, aren't you?
Yeah, well, no, this week for hardcore, we're going to be in the middle. We're going to be in Little Caney, the middle third.
That's right. This is
Yeah.
the pre-show. I keep forgetting that. That's right.
And
Sometimes you do that. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah, I went to the middle third intentionally because I knew the LFA or the hardcore was coming up, and I had places I felt like I could catch some fish on the east side, and so I was pre-fishing for hardcore more than I was for LFA.
Right. Yeah.
And we found fish and decided to go there.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, that little front came through and changed things a little bit. They were still there. They just, you know, it's one of the few times that I've ever been able to make an adjustment and have it work. And they went from biting flukes, which is what we started our first 2 or 3 fish I caught on flukes. And then they quit that as soon as it cleared off, and I mean it was high sky. It was classic bluebird. Light wind out of the north, a little bit on the cool side. Fish were lockjawed, and I dropped down to a cotton candy centipede.
Really?
And just stopped it, just barely crawling it across, and started getting bit again.
Yeah.
So
you were fishing the middle third for that.
Right,
So
right.
what part of the lake were you in up in Big
we were up
Canyon?
in Little Canyon.
Little Canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we found fish.
Okay.
And this week is hardcore, and that's where I anticipate
Back up in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to check some other areas out, but Little Canyon, I'm getting more and more familiar with it, and
Yeah.
I've got some good places to fish in there. Of course, the trouble is there'll be so many of the other guys in there too, so
Yeah.
it'll be a little crowded. Not really crowded because only about half the club fish the hardcore. They don't like being restricted
To one part of the
one
lake.
part of the lake.
Okay.
Everybody's got a favorite part of the lake. Most of them, it's the eastern 1/3.
Well, to me, that's the one you're going to learn the most on because you have to learn it.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just rely on the same places you're so familiar with.
That's right. So
That's to me of the 2 tournaments, that's the best one to be in.
it forces you to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's very true.
and you learn the conditions, and you either do that or you don't. You don't, you know. I noticed you got a few people in here. Scott Schrader, is that a new member, y'all?
He's a fairly new. Yeah.
He's I think I can say this without, you know, hurting his feelings. He's actually a member of our website, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's been there for over a year now.
Excellent.
And,
Excellent.
I mean, you take people like that are trying to learn, and he's already doing pretty well. I mean, he's you know, he's right behind Bill Isles right here. You know, he's two behind him, so it's not too bad for you know, for being a young guy coming in there. So I would expect a lot coming out of somebody like that. You know, there's a couple other members in there on that chart too. I won't mention their name, but at any rate, weather this week. And it's like it's going to be just, you know, mostly sunny. It's going to be hot, anywhere from 75 to 93, you know, so no rain.
Yeah, and it would have been consistent for 3 days. That's the amazing thing.
Well, that's true.
It's been so long since we've had
inconsistency.
3 days of consistent weather. So that's anything we find on. I'm not going to pre-fish Tuesday. I'm going to pre-fish Wednesday. Anything we find on Wednesday should still work on Thursday.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping. So we will find out.
Well, I think they've shut the dam off. I don't think you're losing any water there, so you don't have that to deal with, you know. And your winds out of the south-southwest, I don't know if the storm coming up here is going to have any effect on it at all right now.
Nah, don't think so.
So anyway.
I've got several places that I want to spend some time on pre-fishing. Where we caught fish last week was up in the back there.
In the very back of it.
Yeah, fishing. We were actually anchored out we put an anchor. We spot locked out in the middle of Little Caney. It was too deep to put the poles down.
Yeah.
Tells you it was over 12 feet deep. But we spot locked out in the middle, and we were throwing to the bank, and we were coming across the creek channel, and there was a real rocky part. Which could have been a shell bed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was a real rough terrain, and that's where the vast majority of the bites came from.
You know, we're gonna issue that to the public pretty soon.
Good.
You know, the members have it right now, and that's the way that goes. You know, if you're a member, you get the good stuff. But at any rate, you know, it's gonna be 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. And the first one, he pretty much tells you what to look for on these things. You know, and then the second part, he actually he shows a spot, and he actually says how to fish it, and we actually give an actual location on there. I don't know if you've read that yet or not.
No,
I sent you an email that contains all that.
I've got it. I saw
You've got links to all that, so you can actually view that. But
do that this afternoon.
It's a different way of looking at it, and I'll tell you what, I think it has some merits to it, you know, and whether you could use it all the time, I doubt it. You know, there's certain times it's not that applicable, but there are times that it is. Mm-hmm. The key to that is you got to have wind. If you don't have wind in there, it's really, your shell bed is pretty much useless, what it sounds like to me. So you need to watch that if you get a chance, because it's a certain way that he does that, and he may have a good little deal that might help you sometime, you know. So
well, the wind, to me, the wind always works. If there's no wind, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's just that's just all there is to it. Shell beds or otherwise.
Or not, yeah.
So I can definitely agree with that.
But anyway, as far as your tournaments this month, well, we've already talked about that a little bit. There's nothing much on Fork.
There's not much happening at all.
I mean, if you wanted another tournament, you go to one of these others on another lake, you know, because Fork is just kind of shut down.
That's true. For
most parts, you know, this month.
Yeah. What is today? Today's the
15th, and about the 18th, I think, is about, what, Thursday? Is that about Thursday?
Yeah. So, and see, there's the 20th.
Yeah, 20th, you could go up to Cypress there in Winsboro.
Texas Foreman's is an open, so you could fish that if you wanted to fish at night in Winsboro.
Well, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind it. That'd be all right. So, I mean, there's like one down here at Rayburn, Angler's Quest. I've never heard of that, but
it's a pretty good.
Is it? It's a good little deal.
There's a lot of them. They concentrate on Rayburn and Toledo Bend and those southern lakes.
Uh-huh.
But you're right there. I'm amazed at how few tournaments there are in Texas in July and August.
Yeah.
August is the same way. Last week when we were pre-fishing, I was amazed. I went into Cheney Branch down here.
Oh yeah,
down in here, and I couldn't mark fish, much less catch them.
Oh really?
I was just absolutely amazed at how few there weren't.
Huh.
And you know the deep water bite ought to be happening by now.
Yeah.
Except we're still in that 3 month or 3 to 4 week behind status. So I guess that's what's causing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's where I'm usually fishing this time of year, is there around the bar pit at Cheney Point.
Oh yeah.
But there's nothing.
There ain't nothing there.
Ain't
Then,
nothing
right
there.
now.
That's right.
Huh. Well, I guess the guide stuff has still slow too.
They're having. I don't envy them. I really don't.
I don't know how you make a living on a month like that, you know.
Yeah, they're having a hard time. So.
Well, it'll be over soon.
Yeah, that's hopefully it'll end for the better.
Right.
Instead of getting worse. It's so unusual to have this much water in the lake in July. The fish don't really know how to act.
Oh, really?
I guess because it's usually by this time it's low, 3 or 4 feet at least, sometimes more.
Well, you know where you was talking about back up in there, I would think you're not getting much wind in there either, you know.
It's protected. It's protected.
So Mike McFarland, he doesn't fish those coves and stuff. He fishes out in the bigger waters, you know. Right. And that was another interesting thing he said. You know, he but there's certain times of year there in early in the winter part, and then this time of year, you know, he'll abandon those things. You know, so we'll wait till next week, see how you do.
Yeah, hopefully have some good information for next week. What we caught fish on last week was again the cotton candy fluke and the cotton candy centipede.
Yeah.
The man fishing with me had a hard time. He didn't boat a fish, which it's one of those I don't understand deals, because he was fishing the same. I checked. He was rigged the same way. He looked like he was fishing the same way, and he was using the same bait. And
yeah. I don't know. You know, I fished with the boy one time, and he put the britches on me in that Cheney Branch down there one time. We use the same stuff, you know, and it's like he's just got just a little something different he had going there,
and I've had co-anglers do it to me out of the back end of the boat, where I'm going now. What's going on here?
Right? How you doing that?
How you doing that? Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yes.